Cameron Schwab has been asked to resign as Chief Executive of the Melbourne Football Club. Matt Thompson alongside Pete Ryan at the MCG for our breaking news coverage on afl.com.au. So, Pete, is this the circuit breaker the Demons needed?
Well, that's what Don McClarty's hoping. He said that Cameron Schwab is a person, as we know, that polarises supporters. He's probably polarised the football club historically, and from a commercial and football basis, they had to act.
All right, let's take you to the press conference now.
Don put it to me that he felt that it was in the best interest of the Melbourne Football Club that I resign as Chief Executive of the club, and following our discussions, I have tendered my resignation of the club.
We're all accountable. Our job as a board is to look at what is in the best interest of our footy club. We've got to look about going forward and getting a clear path forward. And for many reasons, all well known to most of you, we have a divided supporter base. We've got a lot of issues within our members and supporters who are looking at us and saying, what is the pathway forward? And we must offer them hope and change. And we need clear eyes to have a look at where we're at. As I say, I'm not worried at all about the business side of our club. It is sound and solid, but clearly our football performance is not acceptable.
I was given great responsibility at the time to put in place the football structure that it has been put in place. I'm a great believer in that, but maybe it is time for a fresh set of eyes to assess that, because it was of my development.
Clearly, when you were all here on the weekend, when you watch what happened, and all of you have commented on it, we can't let that continue, and our supporters would be derelict in our duty if we didn't try and address that in some way. And we now want to look with a fresh set of eyes on that side of our football club, and that's what our board will be working on, as I say, within the next 24 to 48 hours. No, Mark Neal's not a notice at all.
Well, you said that Cameron is, though.
Okay, well, very good, Tony.
Thank you. Cheers.
Don McClarty and Cameron Schwab speaking there, and certainly Schwab spoke from the heart, Pete.
It was an emotional press conference. Cameron Schwab, as he said, he started his career in football at Melbourne. Dick Seddon. He's tried to rebuild this football club, and ultimately it's failed. And so who knows what's next for Cameron Schwab? Yeah,
we'll watch this space on that front. Peter Spargo, who's one of the directors to come in as kind of the interim CEO, from what we could gather from the press conference, Schwab to assist in the transition was also what we heard. But Don McClarty said something really interesting about Mark Neal, that he is not on notice. That is what he said about Cameron Schwab yesterday.
Well, that was why it was such a charged press conference. Don McClarty, I spoke to him on Sunday. He was out on the airwaves saying that stability was the most critical thing for success for this football club, and 2 days later they act on the CEO. So everyone's obviously asking the obvious question, what had changed in the last 2 days? The AFL may have brought some pressure on the football club, or Melbourne's just decided that Cameron Schwab creates an environment that's too polarising to continue.
All right, just one final point. We do have some news on the coaching staff at the moment. I know actually Mark Neal had a coffee with Cameron Schwab a little earlier today before all of this drama unfolded, and the coaching staff have actually gone away for the night.
Yeah, well, the coaching staff and the players have actually gone to Sorrento, probably to reboot their season. The players were doing clinics today. Coaching staff go back, have a think about the disaster in some ways on field in the last 2 weeks, and try and get things going again.
It's going to be very interesting to see what happens here at the MCG on Saturday when Melbourne takes on the West Coast Eagles. From Pete Ryan and Matt Thompson, thanks for joining us on this breaking news coverage. We have complete coverage of this breaking story right here online.